Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn how to automatically compare DOCX SharePoint list attachments to an existing DOCX document in our SharePoint library. This can be useful if we're tracking revised versions of contracts and other important material via SharePoint lists. Before we get started, it would be awesome if you could like the video and subscribe to our channel. The first thing we're going to do is create an automated flow. This flow will listen for attachments uploaded to a specific list on a SharePoint site, so we'll select the SharePoint When an Item is Created trigger. We can start by configuring our trigger action, which simply entails selecting our site address and list name. In our next action, we're going to get the DOCX file that we're comparing new document uploads to using a getFileContent action. My example file is stored in a OneDrive folder, and it's just a basic lorem ipsum passage. The file I'll be uploading to compare with is a modified version of that passage. Next, we can get the attachment from our list item with a SharePoint getAttachment action. Let's make sure we specify the right SharePoint site and list on each dropdown, and then let's get the new list item ID from our trigger step. Now we can get the contents of our list item attachment. To do that, we're going to use an action called getAttachmentContent. Filling out this action is identical to the last action, except this time we're also grabbing the file identifier from our getAttachment step. We'll notice now that Power Automate has created a for each control to account for multiple attachments in a new list item. Just to note here, if we're envisioning our flow to handle multiple DOCX attachments at once, this will still work fine, but if we're expecting different file types attached to the same item, the flow run with the non-DOCX file will fail. Now it's time to compare the list item version of our DOCX file with our original DOCX file. We're going to use the Cloudmersive Compare DOCX API to handle this part. Let's go ahead and search for Cloudmersive connectors, and then let's look for the document conversion connector with the green logo. Let's click See More, and then let's find the Compare to Word DOCX action from this list. When we open this action, the first thing we'll need to do is create our connection. With a premium Power Automate subscription, we can use this for free with a Cloudmersive API key. That will allow us to make up to 800 API calls per month with 0 additional commitments, and we can scale up from there anytime we need. All we're doing here is comparing the file contents from our original DOCX file, in my case the original lorem ipsum file, with the list item attachment contents. Order matters here because we want the output to show the second document after the first. Let's add our original file content and file name, and in our second set of file input fields, let's add content from our getAttachmentContent step, followed by the display name from that same step. This comparison is going to create a new DOCX file that clearly shows the difference between each document, so we're going to write the result of our comparison to a new DOCX file in our system. We can use a SharePoint Create File action for that purpose. When it comes time to name our file, we can put the name of our list item attachment together with the name of the document we're comparing against. Or we can handle this in various other ways. We just need to remember to give this name a DOCX extension so it opens correctly. Now we can save and test our flow. We'll need to add a new list item with a DOCX file attachment to trigger this flow. This part can take a few minutes, so I'm skipping ahead to save some time. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions about powering flows with Cloudmersive APIs, please feel free to reach out to a member of our team.